kills that he really shouldn't have been. Warping that cannon actually right alongside, which really helped out. So Shine getting a little bit accomplished there, and I think that I think that Lurker was definitely worthwhile. But yeah, I'm kind of curious how this is going to work now here into the mid game. We're seeing, it looks like I think that's Weapons 1 upgrade for some more, well, maybe it's range actually in anticipation of dealing with a larger lurker attack here in this mid game. I think Shine is actually probably thinking what I'm thinking, which is, well, now what? How is this going to play out? 3 o'clock base now being isolated for Violet, so he can continue with that economic harassment. Oh, has a couple more Zerglings that are able to kind of run back in. Right, looks like the Zerglings are able to take care of and able to delay things a little bit, and also get that scat out. Definitely know that Dark Archon's out there. But yeah, I'm kind of curious how this attack is now going to operate. So 3 cannons back here. That's going to draw the Corsairs back. But as far as the main attack force, that main attack force still has some openings. I mean, if it moves out to that 9 o'clock base and gets a good maelstrom, then there's not a lot that Shine can do to defend it if there's enough zealots really to dedicate, and he'll have the time to take out that 3 o'clock. And if he can do a base exchange right here, that would be extremely advantageous. Basically maelstroming those Hydralisks, something like that. But it looks like actually he's just going to keep him in a defensive posture. He is producing a lot of Dragoons, and I think that's to deal with the Lurkers. Keep in mind, Maelstrom does not work against those Lurkers and the Burrowed units, but if he can get a really good Maelstrom with those Dragoons against the Hydralisks, he'll be in a pretty good position, particularly with some Psystorm to kind of match it. And I think yeah, I think altogether he's kind of, wow. This is not what I would do if I was in Shine's position. There's the Maelstrom. Psystorm going to match it. Waiting for the Psystorm. Where's the Psystorm? Got to get the Archon up there for this to be worthwhile. Without the Psystorm, oh wow, dodge the bolt. Still ends up losing all of the Mutalisks though to the Archons. Ah, that's the beauty of Maelstrom right there. And yeah, you can see the stunned look on his face. I think this is going to be the rise of the Dark Archon, actually, after seeing this match. Because really, that can help you against the large amount of units that Zerg can output out of the 5 hatch. And I think we are going to see a shift in the metagame right here. Another Maelstrom. I'm waiting for the Psystorm to try to match it. But still, that's kind of the one problem with kind of the mix on that, is because you're going with the Dark Swarm, I think you end up later with your High Templar, you end up with not as much energy. And you really need that Psystorm to support the Maelstrom to really make it worthwhile. But a lot of Dragoons coming up to really brutalize this force down, and Shine does not have anything left. This entire attack force is getting wiped out. 3 bases up, and he's actually behind, I would say, in production count. Violet in an excellent position in this match. Lurker able to wander up, but he's not going to be able to accomplish a lot. I don't think he was able to pick off any observers while he was up there, and he's going to have to back off. It looks like some more cannons warping in. And right now, honestly, if I was Shine, I think the best thing you could do is just start expanding and play more defensively. Force that Dark Archon to come out to you rather than running up and trying to pummel against your Protoss opponent. Because you've got map control, you don't have to, I mean, just make your Protoss opponent come to you rather than the other way around at this stage. I mean, you can play a mass economy game. Granted, it's difficult to go up against that large Protoss ball into the late game, but if you already have Ultralisks to kind of greet it, I guess, yeah, anyway. But right now, he's basically playing right into Violet's hands. Violet wants him to come to him with that Maelstrom so he can get that Maelstrom down, get the Psystorm, let his Dragoons just hit it at range. And the Corsairs actually wandering out. Looks like they're able to get some kills. The Dark Templar trying to wander out here. Looks like he's going to get caught very open into midfield. The single Zergling still in that upper right-hand corner. I gotta say, that's one thing that Shine has done fantastically in this match. He's had Zerglings everywhere. Every single time Violet's gone out to do anything, try to accomplish anything, a Zergling's been there to stop it or at least delay it, or at least provide the information that it's happening. The Overlord's getting wiped out, almost unprotected. Scourge gonna run up. Oh, gonna be able to take out most of that, the entirety of that Corsair force. So first major misstep I've seen by Violet, and it looks like a Dark Templar able to run up, get a single kill, but not able to get much else. Another Overlord was in position to help deal against that. And more cannons being warped in. That's the other thing with the cannons. That Maelstrom, if those Hydralisks are in range, are devastating, because the Hydralisks just have to sit there and get hit. So really in a good position to isolate 3 bases, but really puts Protoss in a very, very defensive position. So I'm kind of curious how this is going to play out from here. But right now, I got to say, Violet's in a great position. He's at 3 bases. Violet's just now taking his 4th and saturating it. He's been very delayed on that. He's ended up losing a lot of his attack force. Violet has a pretty sizable attack force, as long as he doesn't keep throwing away, I guess, little minor attack troops of zealots. I guess that's to distract the Hydralisks while that Dark Templar runs in and dies. Not quite sure what the purpose of that was. Maybe he was just hoping to, hey, there's not going to be any Overlords there at this stage of the game, right? Wrong. Looks like that observer's still able to wander through, get a little bit of spotting out. I think what the real check was, hey, is he going up to hive? And now putting down a robotic support bay. Huh. So we're going to see some Reavers. Wow, some Reavers in play here. I'm not sure how he's going to transport them, but we're going to see Reavers. And right there, beautiful spotting and anticipation to get those. Oh, losing a High Templar without much of a fight there, but able to get the Mulisks up there. Some nice micro by Shine to make it worthwhile. Running up. Oh, he's going to be able to catch a lot of these probes out of position. That's the other problem with the Dark Archon. They're even worse than Goliaths as far as mobility. And without the Archons really back there, without some cannons to really do some damage, and without Psystorm to really nail those Mulisks as they're wandering around, they're able to just get a lot of damage done. But Shine, I got to feel like he's still in a really nice economic position now. That ball is growing really big, and I'm kind of curious, though, what the Reavers are going to do here in this match. And without that shuttle, even with that shuttle, how he's really going to protect it, because really... I don't see that Dark Archon being effective enough against all of those Hydralisks, against all of those Mulisks, to just Maelstrom and Psystorm and keep that shuttle and Reaver alive. I don't see it happening micro-wise, but maybe Violet will be able to surprise me here. I would like to see something like that, but I just don't think it's very likely. He's got to do something creative to get, wow, really putting up a ton of cannons to try to isolate this. And you can see he's just playing a very defensive game at this stage. A huge just wall of cannons. So that plus Maelstrom is what is the defensive structure there, producing a lot of High Templar to do a lot of Psystorm. So it looks like it's going to be mostly Psystorm, Dragoons, and Zealots to run forward with a Reaver somewhere in there to do something. And again, I just don't know how he's going to protect it. Maybe if he can sneak it across that right-hand edge, he'll be able to get something accomplished in that regard. But really, again, I'm kind of surprised that Shine's not being more aggressive with his expanding right now. Now that he's got a really large attack force, he's basically got a Lurker contain out there. He's got a really large roving Mutalisk force that it looks like he's going to run it in once again. I'm going to be able to pick off another High Templar. Might be able to get 2 more probes, and this right-hand base is pretty vulnerable, actually. I think he's going to be able to get the... No, he's actually going to have to sit there and actually eat some damage. And, oh, there's the High Templar coming in. This is what I was waiting for. That plus the Psystorm just eats the Mutalisks alive. Still a couple managing to get out. But that's the beautiful 1-2 punch right there, is the Maelstrom plus the Psystorm can really just devastate the Mutalisk forces, and that will work. I really like that, because that'll work against either Mutalisks or Hydralisks. So it looks like he's finally able to get that High Templar out. But that was a beautiful trade for Violet. Violet loves those trades. Finally teching to Hive. I think he should have done this much sooner. Much sooner, because he knows he's going to go up against a large Protoss ball that Violet's not going to, especially looking at the units he's producing, he's not going to move out until he's got a gigantic Protoss attack force. He's going to try to play this kind of like a Terran, basically, and do these superior upgrades Terran balls strategy here. I'm not sure how Violet's actually going to even get out of his base right now, actually. He's going to have to open up something somewhere. Maybe he's going to get an Arbiter out here somewhere, because that's the only way I can see this working is with a recall, and maybe then he'd be able to transport. And he put down that robotics facility a while ago, a long time ago. There's that shuttle. Okay, just going for shuttle speed, it looks like, with the High Templar to do some High Templar drops with some fast shuttles to try to dodge those Scourge, which actually makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I'm like, Reavers. Finally starting to go out and make his move, but you can see all that red out in the field. Looks like a couple Overlords. I'm going to be able to spot that. That might draw some of that attack force back, but not before those High Templars are able to just run right back. They're going to be able to catch a lot of those drones. Dark Templar actually getting dropped off right there. It looks like still able to get a couple kills. Psystorm on the main, able to get, looks like three drones there. They're going to head out, I assume, to the natural secondary right here. Let's see if he drops short. Yeah, he's going to drop behind the line, do a Psystorm there. At least draw them off. You can at least keep that High Templar back, though. And this is actually just giving him time to get a big attack force. So it looks like he's going to start moving out to that 9 o'clock. And run! Run, shuttle! Never mind, gets taken down very rapidly, but no detection here in the bottom left. So between that foray right there, he managed to get a lot of kills. So some Zerglings running up. Looks like he's Psystorming his own Dark Archon, unfortunately. Also his own Observer. There's exactly what he didn't want to do, and he's Psystorming a lot. He's doing a lot of Psystorm and not catching a lot of units. So know, Violet needed to have the Zealots out in front right there with that attack. It looks like his Zealots instead were at the 3 o'clock position, just kind of chilling. High Templar still out there somewhere, and here's where he needed those Dragoons. It looks like those Zealots going to get eaten alive. Run, Zealots, run! Able to run back in, get some more Psystorm off.